Jones and Keefe, weei.
This is apropos of a couple things.
Yeah, the clown music could apply to the Celtics.
It could.
But that's not who it applies to right now.
No.
It is Justin Turpin, weei, Pure Hoops with Turp joining us here at High Noon. We'll get to the Celtics in a moment here, Turp.
Yeah, give it to me.
But there are people. Isolate that.
Let's do it.
There are people out there. Isolate that. There are people out there who are who lost big hunks of money. Turp
Hams.
on your Saquon
PS5s.
Barkley. Well, yeah, I guess it's really more potential winnings.
Yeah, right.
Than actual lost wages out there. On your Saquon Barkley bozo touchdown.
So
bet.
First of all, how dare you?
Yeah, first of all, exactly.
Yeah, I was going to come in with the prepared statement, but I feel like these things are better to just kind of off the heart.
Yeah.
I just want to.
You don't want to look like you're reading from a statement.
No,
yeah.
And there's a drive to deep left field, and it'll be a home run.
Apologize to you guys. Apologize to the listeners.
Deep left field by Castellanos. It will be a home run.
It's a home run.
Yeah,
And
you
so
trusted
that'll
me.
make it a 4-0 ball game.
Needed me to come through, and I didn't. So good to accept.
All
it.
right, so you can't pick Saquon again.
No, I don't think I
Saquon,
can pick this week, to be honest.
Oh, you want out this week?
Let me pick Jonathan Taylor. Watch,
wanna be
let's do it 1 week. Let me pick Jonathan Taylor or Josh Jacobs. Let's just get ahead of this.
They're on bye.
Okay, so I'll get Josh Jacobs.
You would pick Jonathan Taylor on bye this week. But
Unreal.
yeah. So
So what do you think? Should it be
I'll take a suspension.
no. I think it's a
must win?
Yes.
It's a must win,
Yes.
and then we're either going to
You've been put on notice.
Okay.
I think you're
Yeah,
put on
fair.
notice. Your back's against the wall.
Yeah. And
How
then
are you going to respond?
It's just it's a bad mistake. So
It is.
If it is a benching, I totally understand it.
Yeah, and what made it worse was the Monday Night Football part of
I
it.
don't like that he's asking for a bench.
No, you're not getting a bench.
I don't
You're not
like-
getting a bench.
I don't like that he wants to get benched.
It's all
I
or
don't like
nothing.
that. I mean,
I'm
no.
1 for 10 or whatever. The morale.
No,
is
no,
low
we know.
here.
We know what
1
you
for
are.
9,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah, 1 win, 9 losses. Not
And
great.
I've started to cheat. I've started to take like minus odds players.
yes,
I was so bad.
almost exclusively.
I think
minus-
Saquon was plus
Saquon
money.
was
Oh, that's
plus money
right. That
this
is-
week.
that is
Yeah.
true.
And you guys gave me credit for it on Friday. I was like, all right, this is not going to go well. That was when I knew it.
Yeah, so you're not getting the benching you want over there.
No.
You masochist.
So I think-
you're gonna play one more week, and then your back's against the wall. And if you
This is
don't
it.
hit this week, then you'll
Then
be on
we'll either
timeout.
do a 4-away parlay or we'll just have Shine.
I was looking
pick one.
ahead. The Jahmyr Gibbs odds aren't that bad. It's like minus 170 or something. Which is, it's like, that
Doesn't
better
get-
than like a
All
minus
right, it has
250.
to be minus 135 or better.
I say it's Terp's pick. Terp, you do whatever
Oh,
you
my-
want with
for
that
my
pick.
life here.
Terp,
That's
you do
true.
you do
It
It
whatever.
has to be a touchdown for him. Can he pick a game?
No, touchdown. It's a touchdown
The
parlay.
bozo touchdown
Nick,
parlay.
I'm trying to make it easier on him.
No,
It's a good idea.
No, Terp, it's
You
your
think
pick.
he can pick a game?
I don't know, maybe.
Terp, it's your
I
pick.
did hang on Survivor pretty long. Not as long as you guys.
No,
but
I'm still going. So
yeah, that's
no,
true.
No one as long as Keefe.
that's right.
Known for
I've heard that before.
known for lasting a long time. So I would say you do whatever you. It's your bozo touchdown pick for now.
Okay.
This is potentially the last week, so you do whatever you want with your bozo touchdown life there.
All right, give me
and you
Josh
pick whatever
Jacobs.
you want. Okay,
You don't have to do it now.
lock it in.
No,
You
I'll
put-
do it. I'm getting way ahead of this. Just
Plug-
give me Josh Jacobs.
Plug that right into the
Scored
document.
in like every game except for one.
Just
Do whatever
jinx
you
Josh
want.
Jacobs.
Yeah, he's Josh Jacobs,
Give me him.
season-ending
That's
injury.
it.
Confirmed no
I'm
touchdown.
getting hurt in practice.
All right. The Celtics, by the way, Terp, another loss last night. Another bad loss to the Sixers specifically, just like opening night. They had a win sandwiched in there in the middle over Philly. You look up at the standings. We're 12 games in. They're 5-7. They are not only missing the playoffs entirely, they're not even in the play-in as of today. There's 4 teams worse than them in the East. They are the 3-win Hornets, the 1-win Nets, the 1-win Pacers, the 1-win Wizards. Other than that, that's where the Celtics reside.
Not great.
How bad has it been?
I mean, the clutch is what I look at with this team, and it happened again last night. They're 2-5 in clutch games this year, and the NBA defines the clutch as a game within 5 points in the final 5 minutes, and they just can't win those games. And if you look at the advanced numbers with them, they're 21st in offensive rating, 28th in defensive rating, a minus 32.7 net rating. That's points per 100 possessions. That's atrocious. They've been outscored by, I think it's 18 points, the second most in the league in those clutch moments. And you're seeing it's not like those, you get a lot of leadway because you're talking about a team that's figuring itself out, a younger team. In those moments, it's not. And last night, it was Derek White and Jaylen Brown. It's like your most established players need to show up in that sense, and they're not. And I understand like everyone's learning new roles. It's still a new feel and it's a new system, but you got to find a way to win those close games because you're going to be playing in a lot of them.
And not that Jason Tatum hit every buzzer shot he ever took. Obviously, like we talked about it quite a bit last year and some of the numbers that he has had there. But is that what you think is the biggest issue right now is for guys like Brown and White to now be like in an elevated role and like our game on the line. And even if they are the ones taking the shot, just having somebody like Tatum out there would cause all kinds of
I don't
attention.
even necessarily know if it's that because they're 2 defensive rebounds away from being 500.
Yeah.
I mean, instead you're 5-7 and you're sitting at your worst start to a season since the 2014 season. You're 2 defensive rebounds away. Just get a rebound. Like that's kind of
that's what's tough
because
because last night's the game where they actually have the rebounding edge for the game, but then when you need one or two, you desperately need one, you can't get it.
It was one of their best rebounding nights last night, but everyone's going to remember that offensive rebound that cost them the game because that's when that stuff matters. Like you can do it, and obviously, like there's so much that has to go wrong during a game to be in that situation in the first place. So it wasn't perfect, and last night we saw with the shooting. But you got to get those rebounds in those situations. Like that cannot happen. It's cost them 2 games.
Jaylen Brown, I thought, would carry them to more wins than he has through 12 games. I thought he individually would look better. How would you grade Jaylen's start to the year?
I mean, I think he's been great. He's 4th in scoring, total scoring this year. He's doing just about everything he can. It's like when you're looking down the roster, it's like...
What about winning games and taking over late in games? And, like, he needs to be that guy without Tatum. So the numbers are the numbers. That's fine. You know, last night they needed baskets down the stretch, and he wasn't providing them. So, I don't know. I mean, I guess I'm more talking about that. And they're 5-7. He's the best player on the team. He's got to wear some of that.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? The Orlando game, he only had 2 points in the fourth quarter. The Friday night loss. Last night, I think it was only 3. Like, yeah, he has to be better in those scenarios, but no one else is hitting shots. They're kind of forced. They're throwing 2 at him. There's really nothing he can really do. So I think part of it is he needs the players around him, and he's not exempt for this. Like, he hasn't been perfect. He's been very good. Hasn't been perfect, especially down the stretch.
But if he needs players around them, then what is he? You know, and
well, then he's Zach LaVine. He's like one of these guys that could put up points on a bad
And I
team.
thought he was better than that.
Same,
so I thought,
same,
and he has the luxury of being surrounded by great players and typically Tatum when he's healthy, but I thought he was a lot more than that. If he's just a guy who, when they double and triple team him, they erase him and teammates have to beat them, then what is he? And that's disappointing to me.
Yeah, I mean, you said it earlier, though. Like, they had Jordan Walsh playing down the stretch, and he's been great, but, like, Jordan Walsh and Nemias Queta's in your closing lineup. Like, what do you want him to do? You know, like, again, he hasn't been perfect.
Score.
But, like,
I want him to take over and
guys are kind of
maybe not try to
non-factors in that
dunk
moment.
at the end of the game. Maybe instead of trying to dunk and, you know, put somebody on a poster, get the basket, lay it up, like, go with the easier hoop. Like, I don't know. I think there's a lot he could have done in that game last night.
And they tried to get it to him at the end, and they blew it up, and it's a 40-foot shot in the final minute there. And, you know, the execution just hasn't been there.
Obviously, the big Ben, we knew going into the year was going to be an issue. I think Queta's more than fine. Like, I like Queta.
Yeah.
I think
He's been one of the
pretty good,
positive developments.
Yeah, especially like in the modern NBA. This isn't, you know, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson, Shaquille O'Neal. Like, those guys aren't really in the league. So I'll take Queta. That's fine. Sort of the ups and downs of Josh Minott. Like, you know, there are certain nights where the guy looks great. There are other nights where not so much. I guess that's just kind of what you're going to get, right? But, like, where are you at with him specifically right now?
The collection of wings is really interesting to me as well, because you've seen this with Ugo Gonzalez, where he's had good games and then hasn't really played the next game. Josh Minott's been great since he got inserted to the starting lineup, but only 8 minutes last night and didn't play in the second half. And I think that's kind of the luxury they have when they have a lot of depth with, you know, like with Jordan Walsh playing well and Sam Hauser as well. But, I mean, it's part of it. I think it's his first time in an everyday role. He hasn't really played consistently, so that's going to be part of the learning curve. But yeah, for the most part, he's been good. It's just these last couple, you know, he struggled a little bit.
So the fact that we're dealing with Minott and Ugo Gonzalez and Jordan Walsh, who I'm sorry, the more he plays, the worse sign it is for the team. Like
he's been good though. He's been, by the numbers, the last 4 games, he's been
his defensive numbers,
I
I know are allegedly good. That's a real small sample size. Like his numbers last night on Tyrese Maxey, for instance, are really good. I take Tyrese Maxey 1,000 times out of 1,000 in that matchup.
Shot 1 of 9 against him, though.
Say it again.
Tyrese Maxey shot 1 of 9 against Jordan Walsh.
That's
he forced 3 consecutive stops down the stretch.
It's one game, and I would tend to think that that's a small sample size with Walsh.
No, it's all a small sample size, but like he hasn't had much opportunity.
No, I think for a good reason. If you have good players, he doesn't need to play a lot. So I think the fact that you're playing those guys on the wing, Minott, who I actually been pretty impressed with, Ugo, who does nothing for me, Jordan Walsh, same. Like the fact they're playing so much, that you do go back to the offseason and you go, you know, you could have had actual players on this team. You didn't have to be playing those guys, some combination of them, 30 minutes a night. You didn't need to do that. And it's odious to go back and look at the way they approach this offseason to play guys like that every night, and that's a big part of their problem.
Yeah, I mean, I look more at the size as well. Like, part of the reason the Cada numbers are so skewed is because they don't really have anything behind them. And Luka Garza's been better the last 2 games, but like you see what happens when you have a center on the floor that can make plays. That's why the Cada numbers and the on-off and the plus-minus look so good, because he's actually a traditional center. They have some size, and they can kind of run their offense a little bit differently. That's why they kind of need him out there. And again, the Cada thing has been great, him developing into a player that you think can possibly contribute on the next iteration of the championship contending roster. And, that might not be as a starter, right? Like right now, I'd probably feel more comfortable with him as your number 2, but you don't have anything behind him. And I think that's kind of why these numbers are so skewed. And that's not to take anything away from Cada, because he has been good. But I mean, it more so says like what this roster is. And like, you're getting just serviceable play from Cada, and it's making him look like one of the best bigs in the league.
What else can Mazzulla do in your mind? Is there anything else he can do? Is it tinkering with lineups? Is it anything specific that maybe could spark a change?
I mean, I think he's going to continue to tinker with the lineups. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Jordan Walsh starts tonight over Josh Minott. And
did Minott play at all in the second half? He started the second half. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do that, and then if it doesn't work with Walsh, it's back to Minott.
Hot hand kind of thing.
I think it's spinning the dial with him, but I'm disappointed in him too. I thought Mazzulla would show more as a coach. I thought Brown would look like a lead dog. I thought White and Pritchard wouldn't stink. They have. I thought they'd make shots. I guess White made some last night. Like, I just thought more out of all these guys, Mazzulla included. Like, they've all been disappointing. As bad as the bottom of the roster is, and I blame ownership for that, and as crappy as their approach was, selling off pieces to save the new owner some money, which I think is pathetic. As bad as all that is, the real problem is the guys who are supposed to be good aren't performing. I mean, that's their real issue.
I mean, look at the first half last night. I mean, Luka Garza had more points than Derek White and Peyton Pritchard combined.
I mean, those guys are hurting them big time, and that might just be exposed because they're in roles that they're not supposed to be. I think Derek White, we mentioned this last week, like I thought he might be an all-star. I mean, the guy's on the Olympic team, for God's sakes. I thought he would step up and be, closer to like 20-plus points per game. And again, in the modern NBA, that's not even that wild, right? Like, he's averaging like 15. He's not shooting very well. Peyton Pritchard has not been able to find the three-point shot all year long. Go from 6th man of the year to, hey, you're now in the starting lineup. You need to be our third leading scorer. I don't know. I think those guys weren't really ready for that. Like, I think they're worse based on their expectations than even like Cada or, for honestly, like Minott even is.
And I understand that they're doing other things, right? Like Derek White's been great defensively. Mm-hmm. Peyton Pritchard's been great moving the ball. They've both been rebounding. But this team needs them to score.
Yes.
I mean,
100%.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
Like, they can do all these great things, and that stuff's great. And, like, you can't overstate the value of that. But they need them to score just with the makeup of this roster. So they need them to be better. And at some point, it's like you have to start getting a little concerned. It's 12 games now. It's a healthy enough sample size where it's like, okay, what's going on here? And I was thinking about it, like maybe it is the more aggressive play style they're playing defensively, where they're taking more risk and they're picking up full court. Like, maybe you're getting a little bit more tired and you don't have your legs under you. Because, like, I just don't understand how 2 guys that led the league in threes last year, were both top 10, all of a sudden, can't buy a bucket. And I understand they're in different roles and they're creating for each other. But even last night, like, Derek White missed how many wide open corner threes? Yeah. Like 3 or 4 of them? Mm-hmm. Like, that's the best shot in basketball.
Right.
And you would trust him to make those.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people are texting, why doesn't Simon start? Would you make a switch?
I think he needs to play more. We're talking about this offense, and they're not doing enough offensively. And you have a guy like Anthony Simons who can just explode. I mean, he's top 8, I believe, in three-pointers made, and he's done that in a limited role. They need to play him more.
He's been a little better, too, with the ball than I thought. Like, he had a nice play with his left hand going to the hoop last night where I was like, oh, okay, I kind of thought I kind of thought he was more, spot-up shooter and less to his game than – so I've been impressed with that out of him. I wanted Pritchard to start at the beginning of the year. You wanted Pritchard off the bench, Keefe.
Yeah, I want Simons to start 100%. And Simons is shooting 41% from 3, and he is an offensive player. So, like, they need that.
In a 6th in threes made.
Yeah, in a vacuum, is that what I want? Probably not.
I don't know if that is the be all end all, but I'm saying that's a place to start.
They're 5 and 7 and make a switch. Yeah, that might not be a bad way to go about it.
Especially the way we're talking about the offense. Like, they need scoring. That's the reality of it. There's not a ton of guys on this team that are really natural scorers, and we're talking about that 4 really, like with Jordan Walsh and Josh Minott, like. They've been hitting their corner threes to their credit, but you're not expecting them to score night in and night out for you. Same thing with Cada and Garza. Like, they kind of just play down in the post. And I mean, that Cada 3 last night, he makes those in warm-ups.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's a lot different.
He almost, I mean, the one last night
that was wide open.
It almost hit the rim. I mean, that was pretty good. It almost grazed rim last night. Yeah.
You grab a little bit of rim. I mean, tonight they are playing Memphis, another bad team.
Mess.
They are real bad. What do you ends up happening with Ja Morant? He's been terrible. Plus, there's all like the whole sideshow with him. But like, you could put up with it if he was playing like an All NBA player. But all he does is like turn it over and miss shots now.
I think I could have sworn I saw the stat. I'd have to go back and double check it. But over the last like 4 games, he has more turnovers than made field goals.
Yeah,
like,
that sounds right.
Mess.
He's been really bad. They still have Jaren Jackson, and then the rest of their roster is like nothing.
It feels like they've been stuck in like a constant injury bug for like 3 years too.
Yeah.
Like they were like set like a record for most different starting lineups. Or
they need to blow
players.
it up.
Yeah, they need to blow it up, and I think he's front and center with that. Yeah. And clearly, he's not engaged.
No,
and that's an issue.
They're one of the few teams in the NBA worse than the Celtics.
But they do have they have this stretch of games. So right now they're 2 games under 500, and they have Memphis. They have the Clippers who haven't been good, and then they have the Nets for 2 games in a row. Like you almost need to like.
But this is already the stretch where you thought they'd be fattening up, right? Once they got through the Rockets game, this is where you thought they'd start winning games, and they're not.
And it's the close games again. Like they had a chance with Orlando, they had a chance last night, they had a chance against Utah.
I mean, losing to Utah was a
bad.
Killer. That was probably the worst.
Another
game of the year.
offensive or late offensive rebound. Like, and we knew it was going to be an issue, but there are certain times where it can't happen. Like it cannot happen. We need the final
get
possession.
one right.
Well, that's another thing you'd like Jaylen to do is box out. So I mean that's another one where I thought both the Philly losses were so bad. I thought the opening night. This one last night, the Jazz loss individually is worse
because
But I hated both of these Philly losses, and in fairness, the Sixers have been better than I thought they were going to be this year at 7-4. But that's still frustrating to me. Let's say this is what they are, Turp. They are the 11 seed in the East, and Jason Tatum's ready to come back. What do they do?
Again, I think the conversation between him coming back and how they're playing are completely separate. Like, if this is where they're at, I think it's actually might be a positive to bring him back because you're not expecting him to put on his cape and lead them to the playoffs and play playoff minutes. Like, I guess the only thing you wouldn't want is his first minutes back to be like high leverage playoff minutes or games trying to get in. Like, you probably wouldn't want him playing in those in his first game back, right? You'd probably want a little bit
I'd be fine.
lesser.
I'd be fine with that. I mean, you could still manage his minutes, but I hope he comes back to a good team and he's playing to make them either improve their standing in the Eastern Conference or to help go on a run in the Eastern Conference. Like, I hope he comes back to a good team, but it doesn't look like that's what it's going to be.
I don't think looking at like the record, if they are playing bad and like you said they're towards the bottom, like outside of the play-in, I don't think that should be a reason that you don't bring him back. I think any minutes that he can get on the floor to relearn his body, to get reacclimated, just see the floor is a positive, no matter what the sense is. And obviously, he's not going to come in and be playing 30, 40 minutes a game. Like,
I think there's examples of both, right? Like Kevin Durant, same injury. He missed the entire season. They just put him on ice and they brought him back the next year, and then he was kind of good to go. Different injury, but didn't like Paul George and Gordon Hayward, those were like horrific injuries. It wasn't Achilles, but I think they came back and did like 10 games or something like that, and then
like
we're ready for the next season. So
I just think it'd be interesting if Tatum wants to play and they want to shut him down because they're in the lottery and they want to improve their lottery.
I think you can do both though. Like you play him like 18 minutes, and so it's like, he helps you, but he's not closing the game. They're still going to give up an offensive board. They're still going to end up losing a lot of those games, even if he plays.
I think that would be the most interesting push and pull. And unfortunately for them, I think that's right what they're on track for outside of the play-in right now. So every week at this time, we talk to Justin Turpin from WEEI. You can check him out at Justin M. Turpin on Twitter. And we'll talk to you next week, Turp, hopefully after you've hit on one of these bozo picks.
This is a must win.
This is a must win.
You can type right into the document whenever you want. If you want to lock in Josh Jacobs, go right ahead.
It's Josh Jacobs. That's what we're going to do.
Although, so you already did do it.
What are the odds on
We had people texting saying, hey, Turp, Josh Jacobs is on my fantasy team. Take that pick back.
I'm sorry.
He's like, same. I don't like
it. Doesn't bother you at all that the Eagles were calling out their runs before they were running them?
Well, he still got in.
He did.
No,
He
did
get
at the end
in
of the
there.
game. They called it out. He's like, it changed how I wanted to run the ball.
On the 4th down play, they blew it up. Yeah. No, it's a lot of teams. The Falcons were crying about the Patriots simulating the snap count. The Ravens
Josh
were
Jacobs
getting blamed for that, and then this Packers-Eagles thing. There's been a lot of that lately.
Do you want to guess the odds?
Jacobs?
Josh Jacobs, anytime touchdown.
Minus
240.
220.
320.
Love it. Love it.
Minus 320.
Oh, that's an anchor leg.
An anchor leg?
That's an anchor leg.
I'm doing my
One
part.
of us is going to have to take like a plus 250 to
Look,
offset
just to
it.
make any
Me and
bank
Keefe
at all.
shouldn't change what we're doing.
Yeah.
Nick, you've been pretty good. Billy, you've
We're
got
gonna
some
owe
wins in
someone
there.
a PS5.
Yeah, right, exactly. We're paying money back in now.
I think all
time
time we're still up though.
we are.
We would be.
We're set for like 10
significantly.
years.
We still are. Last year
we'd
we
really be up if we didn't have your pick last week. Yeah, we'd really be sitting on piles of cash.
flying high.
So there you go. That's Turp every Wednesday at high noon. Pure Hoops with Justin Turpin. 617-779-7937. You can dial us up. We'll get back into the Patriots. Turp, good stuff. We'll talk to you next week. Stay
Thanks,
tuned
Turp.
for Trending with Billy Lane.